Kennywood is often known for its wide variety of old and new rides, big and small. While often credited for its roller coaster and dark ride lineup, it is also their flat ride collection that makes Kennywood a unique traditional amusement park. In this video, I will be ranking my personal favorite flat rides from worst to best. Before I move on, I want to clarify what rides qualify in this list. Flat rides usually take up a small plot of land and focus on performing one or two actions. I am not including tracked rides, meaning no coasters, dark rides, water rides, the auto race, or the train. I'm also not counting any kiddie rides. With that criteria, that leads 15 major flat rides to rank and discuss. As we are aware, Kennywood is removing 4 of these flat rides this year. I'm still going to include them on this list as a means of respect and tribute, and it gives me an excuse to talk about them. With that out of the way, let's get on with the countdown. Number 15, Volcano. Huss Enterprises are a dying breed at amusement parks across the world, and it was unfortunately not long for Kennywood either. But with its recent closure aside, I am not exactly a fan of this ride. Riders sit in a cage completely free of restraints. The centrifugal force holds you in as you spin faster and faster, reaching a vertical angle and flipping upside down repeatedly. Volcano is the only ride at Kennywood that got to me and didn't call much for re-rideability. I know a lot of people are fans of Enterprises. I for one am not, and I personally think it's the smallest sacrifice for Kennywood's ride removals. Number 14, Musik Express. This is a classic carnival ride that spins you up and down hills, even providing a little bit of airtime. The main appeal of the Musik Express is its flashy facade and loud music. Admittedly, the ride looks good, especially at night. However, there are a couple of things that go against it. The restraints are not that comfortable, and the lateral forces the ride provides can actually be painful as your shoulder slams into the sidebar. And you better like your riding partner, because you'll be getting pretty close to them. If you hold on to the sidebar or try to push away, you will be getting this message. This plays every ride, muting the music and taking away half the fun. Regardless, it's fine for what it is, and I know teenagers especially enjoy this one. I don't ride this too often though. Number 13, Gran Prix. Bumper cars are a staple at amusement parks, but not all of them are created equal. Kennywood's Gran Prix is not the park's first bumper cars. These current ones are okay. They provide some decent bumping action, but nothing to write home about. I do like the mural on the wall showing scenes of a vintage Kennywood commercial. They're not the worst bumper cars, nor are they the best, but they can still be fun with a group of friends. Let's just say Knobel's bumper cars have forever spoiled me. Number 12, Pirate. Believe it or not, it's not called the pirate ship, just Pirate. This is another common ride found at a lot of parks, and what they offer is pretty decent. I like how Kennywood's only has the shared lap bar that doesn't come down all the way. If you sit on an end row, you can get some decent floater airtime. In the middle, it is a nice gentle rocking sensation. Pirate ships are so popular because everyone can enjoy them, and Kennywood's is no exception. I also want to shout out to the theming around it, from the pirate figures, cannons, and giant chains. Overall, a good family ride. Number 11, Cosmic Chaos. The Disco is one of Zamperla's most popular flat rides. Riders sit outward in bicycle-like seats with a back support. This can be uncomfortable if you're not prepared, but if you brace yourself, they can be very fun rides. Cosmic Chaos spins while rolling on a half pipe. I especially like when you reach the end of the track and your seat is hanging over the edge. This particular model is a Mega Disco track, but has the standard 24-passenger vehicle. This causes even more spinning action than most other discos. You also can't ignore its theme, with alien figures, futuristic noises, and the ride vehicle itself, cleverly themed to a UFO. I'm not always in the mood to ride in Cosmic Chaos, but if I'm up for it, it's pretty good. Number 10. Aero 360. It's not too often there is a ride themed to a park's logo. Aero 360 is only one of a handful of Zamperla Hawk 48s out there. Basically, two suspended gondolas rotate vertically, flipping upside down 70 feet in the air in opposite directions. Halfway through, they switch directions. The ride ends by stalling upside down. Aero 360 is a very controlled ride, so there really isn't any positive G-forces. It makes up for it by providing excellent hang time. You can sit in the middle and share the experience by looking at your friends. Or you can sit on the end, which gives a great view of the park, albeit upside down. I'm normally not a fan of flat rides that focus solely on inverting, but this one doesn't bother me. If the line isn't too long, I give it a whirl. Number 9. Wave Swinger. This ride is quintessential at almost every amusement park. However, it is really good for what it is. The Wave Swinger is a moderate thrill ride that gets the job done. You get a nice breeze on your chain link seat, spinning around and going up and down, but not enough to make you queasy. For Kennywood's version, you get nice views of Lost Kennywood and the nearby road. And let's not forget to mention how pretty this ride looks, especially at night. With its newer LED lights spinning around at night among all the other lights in Lost Kennywood, it's quite beautiful, as it is fun. Number 8. Paratrooper. I didn't ride this ride too much when it was at the park, mainly due to how long the lines usually were. But when I did ride Paratrooper, it was quite fun. The gondolas were free swinging and helped emphasize the idea you were supposed to be on a parachute. You get a great takeoff feeling rising up and a sharp and swinging drop coming down. The angle was actually quite steep at 45 degrees, making it pretty exciting. But it's not too thrilling or scary for younger riders. Paratrooper also looked great along the lagoon, especially at night. It still baffles me Kennywood is going to remove this, as it was always popular with the crowd. Luckily, there are still quite a few paratroopers left not too far away, including Waldemere, Conneaut Lake Park, Idlewild, Del Grosso's, and Knoebels. Number 7. Merry-Go-Round. I know this may seem like a lame choice, but Kennywood's merry-go-round is the soul of the park. It has not lost its old-school touch, with beautifully preserved hand-carved horses, chariots, a lion, and a tiger. And let's not forget that working waltzer band organ. For me, this sound is synonymous with Kennywood. Everyone can ride the merry-go-round, and I'm always finding myself riding it with family and friends. A traditional amusement park is not complete without an antique carousel, and Kennywood's is simply wonderful. Number 6. Turtle. In my opinion, the Turtle is the most iconic flat ride at Kennywood. It's only one of 2 Traver tumblebugs left in the world, the other being at Conneaut Lake Park. Riders sit freely with no restraint in stylish vehicles to look like turtles. The ride speeds up, going over 3 progressively larger hills. The smooth steel seats allow riders to slide and bump into others, which is just so much fun. I wouldn't ride this alone, but when I'm at the park with others, it's always a must ride. Turtle has a lot of character you don't see too much in modern flat rides. This is the definition of a ride for the whole family. You can't be too young or too old to enjoy this one. Number 5. Kangaroo. What a treasure we just lost. Kangaroo was the last surviving flying coaster flat ride, and what a great concept. Once you got in your ride vehicle, which I admit was a little challenging, you pulled down a shared lap bar, which could be a tight fit. This meant, however, you can have 3 or 4 people sitting in a seat at once. The ride rolled on a circular track with one dead-end ramp. This was literally a ride that jumped the track, albeit being guided by arms rotating in the center. This jump provided a great moment of ejector airtime, as well as laterals, pinning you against the outside of the car, or against your riding partner. It was almost impossible to not laugh while riding the Kangaroo. And unfortunately, the flying coaster looks like it will be a defunct ride model. Kangaroo will sorely be missed, and it is most definitely the biggest loss among Kennywood's ride removals. Number 4. Swing Shot. This is easily the shortest Kennywood flat ride in terms of ride duration, only lasting approximately 40 seconds. It is made up for being one of Kennywood's most intense rides. This Scream and Swing model has 2 giant swings that are thrusted via compressed air 9 times in opposite directions, getting faster and higher on each push. You reach a max speed of 50 miles per hour, which feels a lot faster on ride. You pull some intense positive G's at the bottom, and great floating airtime at the top. The highest swing is 80 feet at 115 degrees. I especially love swinging over the Phantom's Revenge on one end and Kennywood Boulevard on the other. I have a soft spot for Swing Shot, as it was the site of my very first job. I worked at Kennywood for 2 seasons, and I was mainly found at Swing Shot. I also worked Pittsburgh Plunge, Wave Swinger, and the next ride on this countdown. Number 3. Whip. I love the Whip. If I'm in Lost Kennywood and walk by it, chances are I'm going to ride it. Similar to the Turtle, the Whip truly is a ride for everybody. Your vehicle is basically a love seat on wheels, and your restraint is nothing more than a bar to hold on to. Going around the corners are super fun, especially when you slide into your ride partner. And even swinging on the straight portions are enjoyable. The Whip is such a classic and has been a staple for Kennywood since the original one opened in 1918 and today's version from 1926. Number 2. Ban Curve. Schwarzkopf is not just known for building epic coasters from the 70s and 80s. They also made an awesome flat ride mainly for carnivals and small parks. The Ban Curve was a ride in which riders sat in toboggans, similar to their Jetstar coaster model, and propelled through a circular track at high speeds. This ride provided great G-forces, both positive and lateral, making it one of my favorite flat rides of all time. What added to Kennywood's was the Olympic bobsled facade and a great light package. And let's not forget that air horn. This one really hurts, as the Ban Curve is already a rare ride model. It was awesome and will surely be missed. Number 1. Black Widow. This ride almost feels like it shouldn't count since it is barely open, but for those who have rode Black Widow, you know exactly how good of a ride this is. Several parks have their own swinging frisbee rides, but I feel this Zamperla Giant Discovery at Kennywood is the best. For one, it is a long ride, giving almost a 3-minute cycle. It's also the most intense ride in the park by far. you pull serious positive G's at the bottom of every big swing. When you do swing up, it gives a phenomenal sustained moment of weightlessness. The views are also fantastic, looking over Lost Kennywood, Phantom's Revenge, and the Monongahela River. Black Widow replaced Pitfall, one of the best drop towers out there, but I feel Black Widow is a worthy replacement, giving, in my opinion, one of the best ride experiences in the entire park. When open, Black Widow draws in huge deserved crowds along the likes of the roller coasters. All these reasons and more are why it's my favorite flat ride at Kennywood. And that's my ranking of every major flat ride at Kennywood. I'm sure your list will look different than mine, and I would love to hear down in the comments. Also, let me know if you would like to see more ranking videos like this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and subscribe for more content. And with that being said, thank you all for riding, and I'll see you next time.